Okay, so we're back on. Uh, so far I can get this time. And there goes the cat. Phone's being goofy slow for some reason. Where? Oh, it's because my battery's low. Aha, here's a charging thing. This way I can see the chat while it's going on. Wherever the... There I am. Yay. This way I can see the chat. Exactly. Wow, this is complicated. Renee, what kind of cord is that? Let's move this way over here. Nothing simple.
Said all the time, nothing can be easy.
All right, so let's see where I'm at here. I need to have like a, a display, getting started screen, but I'm too lazy to make one. All right, what I want to do for this level is just kind of popped in my head, but I want to get about 10 or so levels in this thing, so I'm not worried about creating new ones. I'm going to top down. Let's see what I've got here. So all this stuff, let's move it out of the way. If you hear obnoxious music in the background, that's my wife's Mario game.
Oh,
Okay.
good about that.
Well, just pre-warning. So for this one, I just duplicated the map and just made another one. I want to do something with just 2 crystals. Don't know how far up I want to go, but I want to do something kind of elaborate here. So I like this here. So what I'm thinking is having 2 crystals that fire and there being a middle channel that redirects the beam. So out of 2 crystals, I get 3 beams. I don't know exactly how I want to set that up, but I'm gonna start off by moving this out of the way. Sometimes I sketch these out, sometimes I just roll with it. How big of a channel is that? Not super big, but I want to put kind of like this in the middle here. Hey, welcome to the to the stream. Guess I'll move these with it. Let's take this.
You're so stinking sweet.
If that's a Xerxes, she is not sweet.
She's sweet. Oh man, that actually make me hold her feet again. Man, give her a little bit of attention.
Told you.
More.
Give her a little bit of attention. She just wants every ounce.
Put her hand out. Mm. I'm getting all the head banana. Don't fall on my wrist. I need that. Banana.
So for this, I think I want to do a couple of shields, little redirecting shields, but I don't want the player to actually get to grab them. So maybe that's a big enough channel. And if that's going to be the case, then I don't need to have that. Let's do this. Get these. That's good. I didn't really do anything with these, but it's fine. I'll just move those up. I might change the way this starting position is. Oh, I'm going to take these down. And I have to go through the whole selection process again. Now, there is an option to group assets, but then I have to ungroup them. So, for example, if I know I want this section all the time, I think the option is Control G, and I can group it. Yeah, it becomes a grouped asset, and then I can move that group instead of um, where is it in here? Here's the group actor. If I grab that, and then I have this. I'm gonna not group. I generally prefer not to group assets in Unreal. I'll do it in Maya or something to that effect, but in here not so much. Oh, please don't do that. Is that necessary? Huh. Well, come here. She does that painful wail. And then I've got one in here. Yeah, I'll take these. Watch YouTube flag me for the background music. Oh, it's copyright background music. Blah 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 blah
Funny.
blah. Welcome to the stream. Don't mind me. I'm just making a mess. Whoops. I mean that. Come here, you. So
Why are you shouting in my ear?
this is the little noisemaker. This one. And she's sitting here all nice and quiet, but then she walks over away from me 2 feet and she screams at the top of her lungs for some reason. Why?
She's
I have no
freaking
idea.
weird.
Mm, mm. Okay. So this one, I'll go here. Do-do-do-do-do. Gotta tell you though, that's gonna be in my head.
The remote's right there, my friend.
Nope.
I'll
Mm.
tell you.
Absolutely not. No spoilers. Guess I'll go this way. This one up here. So there's a channel. So I haven't really thought about how I want to do this. It just kind of popped in my head. I thought it'd be cool. Couple beginner levels. Mm. Maybe they ramp up and get way more complex. Okay. I think if I pull this over to here, Okay, that's probably pretty good. And then I don't need these. On this one, I can take this and this. Move that one around. Move that one around. That just looks neat. Maybe put a starting location in here. Um, let's see how I hit play. Oh, I actually do spawn. That's cool. Guess I could. Yeah, this is fine. Not really meant to travel that, but not really sure what I want to do beyond that, though. So I'll grab the shield thing. So what I was kind of thinking is, that's probably good. Mhm. Let's see how that works. Ooh. It hit me with an infinite loop. That's funny. I mean, yeah, it's technically an infinite loop for the moment, but it's not like it has a timer on it. It will eventually stop. Mm. Okay, let me move one of these out of the equation here. I think of a way to maybe this would be too complex if I did it that way. Because I like the idea of them having to redirect the beam in some pretty elaborate ways. You know, the more reflectors you use, the more complicated it's going to be. I think part of the issue on the infinite loop is the this guy was shooting this guy. This guy's already shooting a beam, so I think that's why it caused an infinite loop. Which is something I'm going to have to investigate further because I wouldn't want the player to break the game in that way. So, huh. Oopsie daisies. Let's see, I'll put this back. And then I'll move this one out. Yeah, it's allowed to do that. Hmm. I'm trying to think of the reason they would have to do it this way. So initially, I was going to set it up like this just to get the point across that you can use these as reflectors. Uh, but the idea of having the player having to set this up is more entertaining. So that's food for thought. I can put the receiver, you know, at the end of the tunnel over here somewhere. Hmm. 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 Maybe I could make a channel in such a way that the player can't pass. So like what if I did like on these, what if I did something like this? I'm gonna have to build another block type, but is that halfway through? Something like that. And see if the player can pass. Probably not. Because getting in here, I'd rather the player not be able to get in here. That's fine. Actually, let me see if, yeah, okay, the beam travels just fine. Let me turn this one off. Totally get yourself stuck in here. Right? Can't pass that. I'm gonna try to exploit the collision boundary to see if I can magically pass the wall. A friend of mine was able to do that in an earlier build. Pretty sure I nixed that, but because doing this would require you to aim a little bit. But really, if I did the channel just like that, it bugs me. If I did the channel just like that, that might be enough to almost guarantee a straight shot. I know it's kind of ugly, but if that kind of helps the player guide it, maybe. Of course, setting up this pattern can be tricky because look, I have to go in here backwards. Oops. Hmm. If I put the beams right here, then the player kind of has to use this middle one. But what if I move this over here, move this channel back this way? Or maybe over there. I don't know. Let me see where I want this other beam to go. What if I took this one out? Yeah, I gotta say, I really like this setup. Whoops, that's broken. Oh, that was dangerous. Hmm. Welcome back, or welcome to the stream. Okay, so I added this back here. I like these, but the issue with it is there's not enough room for the player to really navigate those corners. So I'd either have to start it this way, or I just got zapped. good. There's just not enough room in here, so if I ended up moving this as a player, I don't have a way of putting it back. I go, oh, maybe I needed that. You know, I can't really position myself to put that back. There's just no way. Even if I put like a little pocket back here, I wouldn't be able to get out. I'd have to widen this tunnel, which you don't want to do. At best, I could get to like here.
Oh, okay.
But of course, those aren't going to hit each other. No way. That beam won't reflect. But I definitely like having these multiple beams. This makes the puzzles more interesting. Hmm. I mean, again, I could block these off. Something like this. So these are already preset. Maybe I do something. What scale am I using here? Let's do 0.5. And have it so that the player has to figure that out. I don't know. It feels too easy. But then again, I know the answer. So, what do you think? Maybe too simple. Oh, that was trippy. That was really trippy. Hey, watch this. Because it's my spawn point. Yeah. Let's see. But, you know, by having these already preset, the player has to take a look at the situation and then do something with it. But I don't know. That might be too simple. Let's move these over to here. You know, I could do is have some breakable walls, have like a prize or something back there that they need. I know, sitting here watching me think isn't super fun.
I think it's finally, Jeebus.
Do 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 do.
Phew.
Dun 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 dun. Ba-dum-bum. Need to come up with some very profound things to say. Like, exactly. See how nothing happened? Silence is profound.
Hmm.
So the short end of this is they can go this way. So how could I make it to where it's important that they go this way?
Don't want to hear your lip, young lady.
Which one?
She's going,
Now
I
is she
moved.
complaining?
Heaven forbid I move. Yeah,
Hmm.
I hear you.
So Fun Dip. Is Fun Dip just Kool-Aid? According to the research, no, it is not. This is the kind of stuff you do when there's nothing else to do. You look up um, Fun Dip.
Well, we're genuinely curious. We were eating fun. Yeah.
It's the same color as the outline.
Snapper, please. Hello.
I might have to build a new component um, to make that necessary. Or I might just eat the stick and then just dump the powder.
So what are the skinny cigarettes?
If not,
Dang it.
can't advertise candy cigarettes.
No!
Bad for you.
I'm be forced to use my hands on her.
Hmm.
Present.
Yay, that's what I always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like one of the worst things you can eat. Okay. Hmm. A way that I could get this to work would be if these were little doors that opened in sequence. That might be a bit too elaborate. Or I can make a switch. So the little guy, he has a little zapper that interacts with the world. I could create a switch that he can interact with that changes the rotation of these things. Could do that. I don't want to feature creep the heck out of this game. I would like to keep it mainly within the scope of what's already here. But that's not too bad of an addition. Um, I do like the idea of redirecting the beam to open the thing. What if there were, I got this one for sure. And if I built another one, like maybe an offshot this way. But the little reflectors, they absorb the beam path. So I don't think there's a way with the current setup for it to hit the reflector and continue. It would just go in the direction of the reflector. I could create a T-shaped reflector that fires in multiple directions. That could be a thing. Again, feature creep. I don't want to go too crazy with this. I could spiral it though. Hmm. All right, I'm not using this one. Um, this can come over to here. Maybe I'll move it to there.
Hmm.
Plus, any new element I introduce into the game has to be uh, cleverly introduced. Maybe my own puzzle game is too smart for me. And then start location will be down here. Where is my little buggy boo? Uh, player, you're gonna start out there. Let's copy that location. Nuke him. Let's go to where all my thingamajigs are. Okay. Currently on this list. I don't know where I want this thing to be. This was going to be an easy level. Um, kind of is an easy level. Okay, so if I remember correctly, Unreal prefers not to have the top corner. Next, I can check, um, where's Rocket Flip at? Let's go here, Hello Projects.
Xerxes, sky, flowers.
Me?
Why though?
Why are you yelling at the cat?
I am chastising her for being just so annoying.
So, Xerxes is adorable, but requires attention all the time. Really, it's just nighttime. About this time of night, she's super cuddly.
Super adorable until you're busy.
Um, where did I hide this stuff? Claw machine. Did I make one in Minecraft? I did not. I was just trying to remember if I needed to have this corner open or not. Let's see. Uh, level ID. This one's gonna be start position, start rotation. If I remember correctly, I have to have it open. But I'll know in a minute. If I go into here, let me copy this value. Zero, 1, 2, and 3. So start position of level 0 be that. Gonna see if I can read from the file. But there could be other things in here like how fast you solve the mission and other stuff. So making a data table is pretty useful. Start rotation. What is my current start rotation? If I put him in there, the default rotation I think is 0. Yep. So default rotation is 0 for that level. I also have to see if I can write it this way or if I have to set it as something simpler. But for the start rotation, this one is that. And if that bothers you, and just widen these. Auto width. I'm gonna save this. This PC. Brown.
I'm sorry.
I'll call this level
Mama
data.
gonna get up anyway.
And this needs to be CSV UTF-8, I think, is the format we're using. I believe that is the correct format. Let's see if I can read from it. Let's go into blueprints, systems. I'm gonna make one for data. I want to create a data asset. Where is that at in here? Boom, 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 boom. Kitten. I believe it's under, it might be under blueprints. No, not blendable. Where is data asset? Probably under miscellaneous.
You can't even be.
Data asset. Okay, and what do I want to make here? Hmm, I Let me cancel that. Maybe I picked the wrong thing. Data table. That's what I want. uh, from
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. I can't got squished into the chair or something like that.
remember. Hmm. Let me go ahead and say none. Hmm. I'm missing an important step here. I need to import it first. All right, failed to import. Uh, Might be the wrong format. Thought it was UTF-8, but maybe I'm wrong. I can try comma delimited or delineate. Yeah, delimited. I can try this one. I think MS-DOS works as well. I could have sworn it was this one. Let's do comma delineated. Yes. Can't get it from that one either. All right, we'll try the next format. And that one's bouncing. Hmm. Hmm. I wonder why those are failing. Guess I can do it for Macintosh. Nope. Or there being something silly where you have to go and remove the file type. But I will save it back as uh, UTF-8. Then I'm going to close this. It may actually be an issue because it was open. So let's see. There we go. So the issue was the file was currently in use and it wasn't happy. So, but UTF-8 is fine. And then, I think that's good. I don't remember picking a row type. I think I'll do rich text style row. Now, as I recall, I also have to set up a struct with the same properties. So let me see what I have under miscellaneous. Um, Tutorial blueprints. That's interesting. Blueprint, structure, um, level data struct, and I'll make a variable. So the first one would be, what do I have? Level ID. Integer type. Next one. This is start. Do I have start location or start position? What do I call it? Start position and start rotation. Now I'm putting spaces in here, but I don't remember if Unreal hates that. I think Unreal hates spaces. So I might have to change that. We'll see. And then start rotation. And this is going to be position is going to be a vector type. Rotation is going to be a rotator. And I'll save that. Let's save all real quick because things like to break. Let me actually, I'll go ahead and just delete this. I'm not using it, so it shouldn't give me any flags. Yeah. Pull that back in. It's because it's open. Your mom.
I can't.
Okay. So now in this list, I should be able to pull out my level struct. There it is. And then apply that. Couldn't find. So you see how it's reading um, this way without spaces. I think that's actually how I built it. So let me go ahead and just remove that again. What did I do for here? I'll remove the spaces on here. Level ID, start position, start rotation. I'm see how it moved everything back? That's kind of interesting. Um, Welcome, by the way, if I haven't said hi to you yet. Hello. Hello there. All right, let's see if I can get this goofy thing imported. I closed that. Good. We can go in here. I should be able to pick my structure, then apply. Can't find. Oh, I didn't change it in here. Save that. Let's nuke this again. There it is, and apply. Expected column level ID not found in input. It found it found this one as row name. And I got those. All right, let's go back and see what I'm doing. Can I nuke you? Yeah, I'll go ahead and force delete. Always a bad thing to do. That's how I broke Rocket Flip. Level ID on that one. Let's see what you are on this. Okay, so all the names match now. Close that once again, and I'll import it once again. You gotta be kidding me, I just renamed it. Why are you being a jerk? There you are. All right, so I think what's happening here is um, the default position for row name is overriding. I vaguely remember that being a thing with Unreal. I'm going to push it over once more. Try this again. Nobody using you? Good. Let's get that data table again. Apply. Why do you keep failing to find that? It's annoying. It is grabbing these, which is a good sign. I can probably just ignore that one in there. What's up, player three? Or player?
Mm.
Uh, W gains. Uh, bothers me. Hmm. Just player. How you doing tonight?
Oh, she can't.
You know, that bothers me. But I think that is a thing. I think with Unreal, You have to leave this one empty. Just column one.
That is true. Ben told me that.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. He couldn't figure that out for his life, and he told me. I was like, oh, well, good to know.
Mm. So I'll go ahead and just nuke that one. No, because I still want it. Um, Exhausted. Yeah, I feel you there. So you've been dabbling in C++? What sort of games are you gonna make? This project is currently written in Blueprint, but it is what it is. I don't need to have anything super complex in here, but I would like to get this data table set up. Hmm. Anyway, let's see. Not too bad. I do have an FPS game that I'd like to make at some point, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. It's basically a GoldenEye clone. Let's see. Looking at the documentation on this thing. Thank you. I appreciate you coming out. Um, I can try to pull the data off of this and see what happens. Deal with the row name because I can get row name as my level ID. So let's go into where we at here. System, get my game mode. Let's create a event. Get level data. Get data. There's row names and column as string. So here's row names. Let me also get column as string. Get column as string. Gotta make sure I select the correct asset. And then same thing here. I think I can do this based on this single property, and so I'm going to look for start position, get. I'll get by reference, I think is fine. Get suitable culture, that looks new. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that's not necessary for this, but cool to know. All right, I'm gonna get the first asset there, and I'll just push it out to a print string. Unreal pats me on the head, and then I will move forward. You get column 0, and I'll just call that at the beginning. Really, I need to know that way early on, so um, before I do anything else, get level data. Any other things? I know the timer is working, so I can shut off the timer text. I don't think that's running anything important. So I was able to get the column, that's good. Can I convert that to a float? Is there a string to vector? There is. And I'm gonna get the string to vector, and then I'm gonna pass the vector back into the string just to see if I get correct data. Looked like it was looked like it worked. Look at that, and then crap-a-doodle.
Say crap-a-doodle.
I did, yeah. The whole reason to pause it was so I could see. It's disappearing too quickly. Let me bump these up to like 30 on each one. Hmm. 125, 410. So it is able to read the data, and that could be good. Okay. Hmm. And where this becomes useful is once I start populating this off the table, I can move this stuff around pretty easy. What becomes an issue inside the blueprint here, when I go to get the game data um, over here, like for my start locations and such, if ever I want to move these around, I have to copy and paste and switch and blah blah blah. It's such a pain. Whereas if I decide I want to shuffle level positions, um, all I have to do is move them around on the table and then, reload it. It's no big deal. Level ID position is the same. Really, I think I can just cut that out and just leave it as row names. So I'm going to pull that one out. I don't know if that's correct, but I want to pull that out. I could populate with jargon. So like in here, you can put whatever in here. Let's see how that goes. Um, I am using that data table now, so I have to be. Where is my blueprint? So this is pulling the data asset. Let me go ahead and just get none. Can I nuke you? Yes, I can. Um, it was very upset about that. Okay, so it won't let me do it that way. Annoying, but workable. I wanted to take a look at the rocket flip setup just so I could benefit from my past, but it's whatever. And you would think, having done this so many times, that I would remember it from session to session, but nope, that's not true. Oh, because it's currently open. Okay. Rinse and repeat. I don't know why they would design it that way. It's annoying.
What's the design?
I tell you what. I think what I did for rocket flip is I just had this listed twice. It just bothers me that I can't have that in there. Uh, as she says, it's fine. It's fine.
It's all fine.
ugh, there's just like a great swell of anxiousness knowing that this is this way. It
Sorry.
screws up my organization so much. But everything else is workable. So here we go. Here we go. This one is get data table row names. I don't necessarily need to know the row names. Um, but I can do this in a linear fashion. So off of here, I'm going to get start position. I'll do a get. Um, actually, do a for each. For each. And off of the for each, I need to get the element. And that element needs to be in a vector. So string to vector. And then I want to populate my start locations. So I will. It gets a bit weird when you're dealing with these in blueprint format um, because you can load these in a couple different ways. Technically, if I do set, um, I can set the value that way. But what tends to work better is this. If I do a get, and then I use the add elements. So let's see, add unique. The the issue with add unique is if you have something similar in another column or another row or whatever, if they match, it'll ignore it. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. I think I'm just going to do a standard add like this, and then I can pass that in. Like that. And then off of here, I think this is a return. Now, what I would normally do in this particular case is I would send out a message. So like when the game is loading, um, I would have a complete, data loaded kind of thing happen. And if there was an error, I would create a message for that. Um, so maybe I'll walk through that while I'm here, but I want to get the next one. So the next one down would be the same deal. I grab all this stuff, make the next row. I can get this one. From this, I'll do off of complete. I'll do this one. This is going to be the start rotation. And I don't want to get this way. I want to get as rotator. Where is my rotator? Start rotations. Yes. I'll do the get. Whoops, wrong one. Should be a list. There we are. Add. And these should be pulled from the list in the array order. So, 0 should be 0, 1 should be 1, 2 should be 2, and so on. So then all I have to do is, I really don't even need to read property by name. I can do that up here. Um, off of the index. I can get that, and that'll be the proper one from here. And I shouldn't have to do anything off of these. Like whatever's here should be overridden the moment the game runs. So theoretically, that should be how that goes. Um, oh. And then off of here, um, so an important thing to know about loops in Unreal, I mean, it may just be loops in general, but um, these for each loops, they run asynchronously. So if you have something waiting in the wind, it may happen out of order. So you really want to make sure that this stuff finishes before it goes on to the next thing. So anything that's waiting, you might want it to kind of hang out until finished. In that case, you can wrap this into a function. But I think I'm just going to make a couple bools here. You get this one. This will be for bools. I like to have them as like a question or a whatever. I'll say is start uh, positions loaded. I guess R would be better, but and I'll do the same thing for the other one. Uh, can I duplicate? So if all these are loaded, I'll just run this off of here. For now, that's my safety check.
This one.
And really, I do want these to be in a function. Let me see if I can convert to function. Save all. So there's a difference between a function and a macro. Um, macros are basically functions that only exist inside this object. And I can't call a macro from outside of this object. So they're private functions. Whereas a function I can call from just about anywhere. Um, some other stuff, you have some more options with how data flows in a function versus a macro. But as I recall off the top of my head, you can have timers inside of macros. You cannot have them inside of functions. So that could be a thing. But I'll go ahead and just collapse that to a function. And then this is what? I'll go ahead and just delete that off of here. That is now inside of a new graph, by the way. So cut that one off. I want to rename this. I'll just say get level data. Really, you're not going to let me compile. I hate having that little one there. Ah, better. So now all that is in here. And then I can have on the function, I can have an output. You can also have this on a macro, but on a function, you can have multiple return values. On a macro, I don't think you can. So I don't really need anything on the input, but I do want an output. So I'll hit out. And then this will be complete or whatever. And there should be a return. And really they should be independent, but this function, because best practices and everything are like you should only have a function do one thing. This function technically does two things. It loads data from two different sets. I should have it run data from one set and then get an output value for that, and then run data from another set and get output from that. But this is what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and just check these. If this was successful, go to the next one, successful, and then we'll run this into here. And then for this to be complete, I'll just branch. I'll do and, because both of these need to be completed. And I'll pass these into here. And I'll just move it out. And really, this can run off of either. So like, I can do this, but this becomes a redundant thing. Realistically, I don't want the other elements to run if this fails. So instead of having it go here, maybe I can um, output a message or something. I don't know. But on my graph, I can call that function. And then off of here, I can branch it. And if everything was successful, I can go here. If it wasn't successful, this is kind of dirty. You can get in trouble for doing this, but I'm going to do a delay. 0.2 is probably good. And if it failed, um, you can always run it back on itself and let it try again. And then you could log, how many attempts it made, and then have it after so many attempts it break out of that. but whatever. So once it gets the data, then it'll continue on with this. Okay, things work. Cool. It does kind of feel like I'm floating though. Let me get one of these guys. Where's the player? I'm gonna drop him in here. Let's go into perspective. Oh, all right. 0 is there. Here at 0, 0. Yeah, I guess that's normal. It just seemed like it was higher than usual. Anyway, so I want the character to be there on spawn. So for example, if this were level 1, I can do this. So I can take this data set here, and let me go and just expand it all so I can actually see what I'm doing. So my rotation and everything, I'll just move this down. I'll move all this down 1, and then I'll pull this one back. I can grab that, and then I can reload the data. So this is the current data set as it is. There should be a re-import option here. Okay. You can see that updated the positions for me. And that was just a very quick, save and re-import. And now I should load. Um, Assuming it thinks I'm off of 0, it should load me here. Let's go into, where's the thing? Okay. I don't know what level it thinks I'm on, so I'm going to go ahead and just break. I should be at level 0. Huh. Let me do a terrible, terrible thing. I'm going to wipe these. Because this has the old data in it. Well, I didn't spawn. Ooh, there we go. Why can't I drag the thing? There we go. Um, Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Did these fail? Start position, start rotation. Those have loaded. Um, wonder why. Because it's clearly getting out of here. Because if it wasn't getting out of here, we wouldn't have any of this happen. Now let's do a thing. Any other strings? I think I cleared all those. It'll just say hello if it gets out. Hello, it got out of it. Which means the data should be loaded, but it's giving me an error. Oh, I never set the data asset. That would be a big deal. But you know what? Before I even go back and do that, this should never. I see my error in logic. I have this firing on complete, but it had nothing to do, so it just said, yeah, I was done. And it gave me a check, and it moved on. What I really should do is check here, which gets a valid um, value. It also might be better to loop this with break and then have it, if if any of these come out invalid, I can break the loop and just say, hey, we can't continue. Anyway, let me go ahead and load the table. Just be aware that this is not working the way that it should. Um, that's not right. And let's see. So I'm in the correct spot. That's a good sign. does seem like the character's higher though, doesn't it? Is it just me? It seems like he's higher. A way to test it is I can run the current build of the game and see where he's at. So let's go back. Package games, Crysthell. Let's run the current build. Nope, it just looked weird. It is the correct height. Hmm. I know I've asked this a few times, but nobody really seems to answer. Does anybody prefer the walls lower or higher? Maybe get some votes on that. Hmm. All right, so I'm getting data out of there, which is a good sign. What do I want to do on here? I would like to fix this so it reports correctly. So it's kind of neat with oh, inside of functions, you can have local variables. So I can create inside of here. I have a local variable option for this function. And you can see there's a little highlight for what function I'm in. So I'm going to create a local variable. This is going to be, let's say, number of positions. And I'll make that an integer. And can I replace this with there's a replace option? I don't think so. I'll do for each with break. I'll do another one. This will be current position index. This one will be the number of rotations. Current rotations index. And what I will do from here, I'll run this way. The rest of this is about the same. So you come into here. I'll make this appear. Yes. You go this way. break that one. So before adding the value, I'll do a check on the value. So I can say, is it is valid off of there? Um, I'll do branch. So if it's valid, we'll go here. We'll just continue on. If for some reason it's not valid, so on the false of this, we will get the current index. And really, we'll just set the current index for each of these. Yeah. Realistically, I only need to know the current index if it fails. So yeah, that's just an extra memory impact. So I'll just move it over here. So if it fails, I'll get the current index. And then I can break. I actually have the number of positions, um, which is basically I was going to check to see if the number of um, valid values is equal to the number of elements in the array. But really, I don't have to do that. If you find anything that's broken, just exit. So I probably don't need the number of positions. Current position index probably all I need. But if that breaks here, then I'll just break here. And it just stops that.
Did my controller fall?
A controller did fall.
That?
Right? So that's one way of doing it. Although, realistically, I probably could just fire this on the return value and just have this return as false no matter what. So I can do another return, add a return node, and put this one, if uh, false, if true. So if you wanted to break it, you could do this one. It doesn't matter, but I think just firing into here, just leaving that open would be good. Which means I don't need the break either. You're like, oh, why do you keep changing things? Because I work as I go. This isn't a tutorial. This is you getting to see the craziness that goes into my mind as I'm working. I go, oh, that's a good idea. And then I go, oh, that's silly. You know, when you work through your problems, you go, oh, yeah. Okay. And the reason why I took that one out is I think if you hit break, it still fires complete. Hmm. I do need the index of that one though. And then if I have a message to report, I can report into a log file or something. What broke, where it broke, trying to get whatever. I still don't like this being here just because there's too much of a chance of that working, but I might come back to that. Okay, and then off of this one, same kind of deal. Um, I'll move this over. Nobody likes spaghetti. Okay, spaghetti's delicious, but not fun to work with. I'll do a branch. We'll check these. Uh, we'll get the current position on this one. And if that fails, we'll just go out to here. Alright. A way that I can check that though, let's do this. For each, um, I'll do a for each with break. Pass this into here. And I'll break out, I'll break it on the first loop. Oh, it won't let me. I just want to check to see if I get a completion fire. So right now this is all this does. Hmm, that's weird. There we go. That's what I want. Completed on break did fire. So yeah, so if you hit break, it's unhappy. So if you break it, it does still complete. So it wasn't going to work the way I was hoping it would work. The upside to breaking it, if it fails though, is it will stop the check. But I believe the way that this is going to work is because we're inside of a function, and whenever you exit a function, it terminates all the things that's going on inside of it. So if this fails and then hits return, it should wipe that function anyway and stop the loop. So I think that's how that's going to work. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to go into my widgets. Let's see. I've got a game over widget. I got a HUD widget. I've got an in-game menu. I've got a main menu. I've got options. I've got that. I've got a confirmation pop-up. Let's see what this confirmation is. Yes. Okay, it's that one. What I want, what I would like is at the bottom of the screen there to be a loaded sort of data that really should be on the this check that I'm doing here. Ah,
What?
I blame you.
My fault.
This check that I'm doing here should actually be conducted on the main menu game mode. So here's my main menu game mode. The reason I would do it here is the main menu game mode loads first as it loads the main menu. So it should go through and parse all that data um, before we have to use any of it. And then it should pass that onto the player object. Hmm. So I know I'm gonna have to do that later, but what I could do, widgets here. I'll get a widget interface, widget blueprint, ch underscore. This is I guess I'll do load message. All I really want on here is a little message on the bottom. So I need a text. I don't need multi-line. I think a single text is fine. Where do you go? I think you're okay there. And you need to be sized content. Anchors, I'm going to center bottom. And we'll set these to 0. And then this one will be a 0.5 on the X. And then a -1 on the Y. Maybe it's 1 on the Y. I'll do 1.5 on the Y. So it just kind of hangs out on the bottom here. And then whatever message goes in here. So for the text, grab you. Whatever message. I do want a background on this. Let's see what my options are. I'll center the justification. Do I want a shadow? No. Stroke? No. Color and opacity, that is as it is. I do want there to be a background to that though, so I think I will wrap this. Wrap with a border. I'll just call this text border. And the background of that, I think a medium gray is fine. Oh, cancel. That's wrong. That's color of content. I don't want to do the color of content. Um, padding is fine.
The sound of music.
Right? Uh, brush. Brush color. There we go. Okay, and then I want the text on this to be editable, so make it a variable. Go to the graph. I don't need these. I'll do a get. I need to set text. Set text as text. And then that variable, this is going to be message. This will be as text. I should be able to do it just like this off of that. I need to make this visible. Hey, welcome to the stream. All right, and then in here, for the sake of the moment, I don't know if you get it, but um, that's kind of like a internal joke.
Why?
Well, because Mario's original name was Jumpman.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Ah, I forgot about that.
Mm.
It's funny.
Yeah, jump, man, jump.
I'm not.
Hi.
I thought it's just gonna anger me.
Oh, where am I at? I'm here somewhere.
Why?
Because your mom. For this loaded message, where could I put that? Since I'm not running this here. Yeah, I wonder though. That might work. Crap. You just put it anywhere, why don't you?
That's bad. Sorry.
Oh. So I was just kind of like thinking out loud. So in this whole process of pulling data off of this thing, where is this? Like I'm pulling data off of here and I'm loading it to things. I know that's a process and it's whatever, but really this struct is kind of populated here. How active is this? I'm gonna do a test. This is a test of the emergency stupid system. Uh, save all. Let me add in a variable. This is going to be of type um, level data. Okay. I want to see if this actually has stuff on it. Let me get my output pin here. Because if this works this way, then I don't have to pull the data the way that I'm doing it. So no, it probably won't work that way. There's only one output pin. These aren't arrays. So it's probably just going to return 0. It may have fired, I just can't tell. Let's make this, dominant on the screen here and a recognizable color. So it gave back 0, but there's only one value. So no, I can't do it that way. It was worth a thought. Yeah. You go here. And you're feeding back from here. There we go. Okay, dismiss that. I think I was gonna do. Oh yeah. So for the pop-up message, in the event that the message fails, I can do this. I can do a create widget. Mhm. And the widget I'm going to create is going to be the loading message. Can I refresh? Huh. That should have an input pin for the message I'm creating. Weird. I have to add that to viewport. Really? There you go. Yeah, great widget. And that should have an exposed pen. Did I not compile and save? Let's come back. That's weird. That should have an output pen. Or it should have an input pen, I should say. It is called load message, yeah. It's the right one. There's like a random thing there. Huh. How bizarre. Do 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 do. How bizarre, how bizarre. In text is there. It is accessible, yeah. Hmm. What I might have to do is that definitely should have an input pin. But what I might be able to do is just off the wire here. Um, Set message. It's bugging me that that's not appearing here, but it's whatever. The message I'm going to set would be append. Let's see. I'll do unable to load data from. This is start. I do not have an output name. So it does do the whole message here. From start position. I'll do index and then space whatever the index is from here. Add a pen. I just put like a period at the end of that. And that will go here. But then if it were complete, then I could do another one um, for that. Although there really should be a cleanup step for removing these from the screen, so after a few seconds they should delete themselves. Mm. And do I have a blueprint function library anywhere? I do. Let's see what I have. I've got a load game and a save game. And those do their things. Enable library input, check if the game is all stop, disable. Um, I think what I'll do here is make um, display a message, and I'll do that here. I'll just build a function for it. Where are we going to be? I need this. I actually want these things. Let's control X that. Come back over to the blueprint function library. Let's build this in here. Hmm. For this, I'll do um, I might keep this over there. That way this is more universal, but I'll have this be, and I'll actually just snip this, Control X. I'll push this into here. That way I get an input message off of that. And then I think on here, I can do a delay and then self-delete, but I think it'd be better if I did it inside the load message option. But then here, because it's on a blueprint function library, I can call display message. And now I can pass in the message that I want. All this will be the same, except I'll be doing it that way. And I can just move this to a spot. Whoops, can you? I'll say if loading start positions fail. I'll put a message. And then if it's true, um, display message. Go here. Actually, I'll just do that at the end. I'll check the box. Go here. Start positions loaded. And whatnot. You can always put the message ahead and be like, say what it's currently doing, like loading data or getting start positions, getting rotations, whatever you want. So I can save that and run it. It'll probably pop up. There it goes. Start positions loaded. Yay. But that's going to stay there. It doesn't go away. So if you want the effect of it going away, Um, load message, go back into here. There is an animation option. I'll just call this fade out. And then for fade out, the track that I want is going to be um, my text border because I think that controls everything. I could also just drag it in, by the way. Maybe I can't. Maybe I lied. Could have sworn you could. Well, I'll just grab from here. My text border. Um, dismiss. I want it to go from whatever the current. Could probably just do the whole canvas panel, honestly. You go ahead and nuke that. Do I have the option to do the whole canvas panel? Mm, I think this just responds. This usually goes to the entire object. Canvas panel. Do I have any transform data? I do. Let me do it right on the canvas panel. Let's see how that goes. So I'll start it with what do I have here? Translation is going to be left and right. Shear angle pivot. I have a visibility checkbox up here. Okay, so I won't do it off of the canvas panel. I'll do it off the border. And then on here, I should have um, my alpha. Is that going to be the entire brush? No. I want it and its content. Like it's that. Hmm. Let's see what option I have for visibility. Can I just fade it off? I can be visible or I can be hidden. I'd like a fade off, but let's try a render opacity. That should be the entire thing. Sometimes this breaks, so I'll experiment with it. I'll set it to 1 in the beginning. Maybe I'll go to 1 second, maybe, and then set it to 0. And then inside of itself, oh, that's not itself. I would do that on load message inside the graph. And really, you could do this part anywhere. I will do this on tick. Actually, I'll do a delay. Um, it does not have a lifespan. I'll do a delay of 1 second, and then I'll just say remove from parent. Okay, so it loaded, but it did not remove. Now, right now I'm not playing the animation, but it should have deleted itself.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Bears. Bears.
Um, and graph may take this one out. Okay. Is that being fired every second? That shouldn't be. Maybe I did a silly. We could take a look. This is on begin play. Begin play hits this. That shouldn't be repeating because I know, but it might. So this should not repeat because this is only on on the completion for once. However, I do have my delay here that loops back. So this loop back might be what's firing it multiple times. Let me go ahead and just uncheck my loop here. Once and then gone. Okay. And then for it to fire the animation, I'm going to do that inside of the function as gets called and added to the blueprint. I will also, what is it called? Uh, Fade out. Get fade out. Do I do play? So animation, play animation. I don't think I need to store it anywhere, but if you needed to store it, you could. I think that should be fine. Oh, it needs something. What more do you need? Uh, um, needs to know what blueprint target is this. So that might have been too quick, but it does work. Ugh. And then back over here. Inside y'all. I can do something similar for the others. So this one, and I'll get pretty much this stuff. Come down. This will be if what did I call the other one? If loading start positions fail, sure. Uh,
Anyways,
there it is. All right, so that should go to there, and this should be rotations. Rotation index. Start rotations. Loaded on success. Okay, so now I have two messages to display. And what I can do in between these is I can actually put a delay. All right, you can't run delays inside of functions. So in that particular case, you just create two separate functions. One that checks loading for the one thing, and the one checks loading for other. And then you can put a delay in between them um, on the main graph here. So I could do a delay in between these. That way there's a chance for each one to finish and output a message and then go, and then finish, output a message, and then go. If I run this as is, they'll just be bodied on top of each other.
stop it.
And it's way too fast, so it's hard to read it at that speed. We'll expand this out, maybe 2 seconds.
One Mississippi.
You're Mississippi. Fade out, yeah. Number of loops to play, cool. We know that's working. I'll just do this as 2 seconds. And one thing I'll change here on this is so that it doesn't just fade immediately. I'll have it be alive for like a second and then maybe out here at one, drop it to there. So solid, solid, fade off. Cool. And then it fades. Unable to load. Unable to start rotations at position 0. Cool. But that gives me information, so I know what to look for and whatnot. So let's go take a look at why that is failing. So that could be actually failing off up there. All right. I'm actually going to take a look at the main graph. Let me let this repeat. As it does keep getting hung up there. Interesting. All right. Well, it's about 1 in the morning. I gotta go to bed, and then I'll tackle this a bit more tomorrow. Figure out what's going on there because it was getting it earlier, and then I set up the error messages, and I started getting issues. So it could have been that it was always broken, and I just didn't notice. But because it wasn't really throwing me an error message, I didn't see it. But I'm getting a actually that makes sense off of the camera manager. If that's gonna fail because this guy isn't getting loaded. So if this fails, that'll fail. I'm gonna go ahead and break that just so it doesn't repeat 1,000 times. This really should get off of here, but I'll do that later. All right. I will catch you guys later. See ya.